Scholars, Aztecross is some deep water. I wonder why. Let's find out together, shall we?
The gaming counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure, where gaming wipes away the tears.
What is up? It's your boy, Rick Cactus. I'm joking. Scholars, welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are reacting. It's interesting to see what the marathon community, and it's interesting. There's a civil war currently going on. We're not talking about that, but we're mentioning it. There's a civil war between Destiny and Marathon, and I'm on there throwing fuel on the fire, like gasoline, straight gas, and people who would normally not like my tweets are liking my tweets on like one side of the fence, and they're like, anyways, it's funny to see that there's a war going on, and then people are up, Marathon is, the fanboys, not the average Joes, right? You can like Marathon and be fan of it, right? I'm talking about the Twitter bots, the mental illness. They're upset with Paul Tassi, like more so than normal. And now Aztecross. Aztecross is now in the crosshairs. People are upset with Aztecross. I've saw some like Reddit, on Twitter, people are posting like pictures of Reddit of like people hating on Aztecross. And well, we're gonna watch the video, right? We're gonna watch this. It's called "It Got Worse," and it did. It got worse. It got worse for the community. Like watching as the war brews on. It's like it's civil war. We're watching Bungie civil war as the community literally slaughters itself. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Like, it's interesting. Now, I'm gonna say right now that I'm probably gonna put this, just to be 100%. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I'm gonna put this at like 125, a little faster. And I'm also probably gonna skip, because he's reading Paul Tassi's article. I just want to see his actual takes. We know about Paul Tassi's article. We reacted to it already. And it's the division about how Bungie cannot run Marathon and essentially Destiny at the same time. Plus, he's talking about how bad the earnings report was, right? Like, that's kind of what it seems like he's doing. So we're just gonna skip. We're gonna skip around. I don't know where we're skipping, but we're gonna skip around.
Oh, can I just say, this image right here, this is our final shape. Myself, Frost, and ZK working at Mickey D's. This is truly the final shape, and we are getting closer and closer to it. Most notably with the news here recently about Bungie.
I like that he jokes about himself, but no one's joking about Bungie, because the ones that really are gonna have to put the fries in the bag are Bungie employees, right? And unfortunately, it's not going to be the C-suite, which we all know is cancer, and we all know has been horrible for years, and I've always called them out, but also the developers themselves that are actually trash. The ones that actually make the decisions, because let's be honest, Pete Parsons isn't the one making all the decisions about shitty design. The people that are, the developers that are making the shitty design choices, they're never going to lose their job, unfortunately.
And let me just say, guys, it ain't good. I've been seeing a lot of things online. I've seen people try to pull some copium bullshit out of their ass saying, oh, no. This is actually a good thing. Or my favorite, this is all part of the process. This was the plan of Sony's all along.
I've not heard that, but what I have heard is Sony, well, okay, maybe it was kind of like the process, but more of Sony knew what they were getting into when they committed to Marathon. They were okay with a niche of a niche of a niche. This was all by design. They're not surprised. This is what they expected. This is what they wanted in a live service. What Marathon was supposed to be like this from the get-go.
Delusional, but not as delusional as the Marathon community. Oh yeah, you fuckers. Believe me, Destiny.
Listen, I'm gonna say it. I like Aztecross because he has charisma. I laugh at a lot of the stupid clips that that gets clipped about him on YouTube. It is just, but we can all we can all be honest here. We can really, be brutally honest here. Aztecross flips sides like honestly, if Aztecross was in the Revolutionary War, the moment the colonists would lose a battle, he would hop over to the British. That's Aztecross. He will ride the side that is looking like it's gonna benefit him. Listen, he's got charisma. He's funny. He knows how to make a meme out of himself. But the dude is so flip floppy. 1 minute he's talking. 1 minute he's shitting on people about charts and talking about charts and how people are hating on Marathon. And next minute now he's talking about how the Marathon community is just coping. My man, listen, I have never tried to play a side. I've always said I'm always going to make fun of unhinged people. Aztecross is a professional fence sitter. Like, he will be like, which side today? I'm going to be that side. Like, we can agree, right? You can like Aztecross, but agree. He is the ultimate fence setter, and he will jump to whatever side benefits at that moment. There is zero consistency with this man. And it's funny as hell because he gets away with it every time. He gets away with it. And even people, when they're upset at him, they still just, silly Aztecross. That's like, what?
Players, we have been submerged in the copium. But you guys are running in head first. Thick into it, my man. But let's get into the news. Hold on. Let me pull this up. So
this is the man that was absolutely shilling out for Marathon. Just balls deep. Brother, just... what are you doing?
I'm on vacation this week, and this is what I woke up to. PlayStation's reported a $700.
Okay, so he's gonna read it.
$65 million impairment loss due to underperformance by Bungie. Now, if you remember what I said leading up to this earnings call, I told you guys that we were in speculation territory. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there was an impairment at the end of last year, if y'all remember that. No, it did not go against goodwill, but still not a good sign. And I told you guys strike 2 would be another impairment. Strike 2 and 3 would have been an impairment and also against goodwill. Now, as far as I'm understanding, it didn't go against goodwill, but it still is an impairment nonetheless. And there seems to be some copium about this. We're the same folks that came out and say, don't worry, this is just an accounting thing. They're also the same people that come out and say, don't worry about it. When you buy something that's for your business, it's a business expense. As if that makes it free.
Yeah, people are like, don't worry. Hey, it's not a big deal. I mean, people are like, well, that's not how much Bungie lost it because of Marathon. No, their value went down almost $1 billion, but we don't even know how much they've actually lost. Like, Sony did not mention how much money Marathon has made or lost. They just talked about the impairment. They said like the value of Bungie is not the same like as them straight up saying this is the value of what Marathon has given the company. And by the way, if Marathon and Destiny were doing well, then the value of the company of, Bungie wouldn't be almost less than $1 million. Like, it wouldn't be going down that much. Hello? Like, yeah.
Not how that works, guys. When you say something, oh, I'm going to write it off, it doesn't make that item or whatever, that expense, free, okay? So the impairment here, essentially all that really boils down.
Technically, Sony spent $3.6 billion. So it wasn't free. Like, it just means that their purchase immediately becomes less. Not like driving off a car off the lot to where it's like, okay, it's lost its value. This is like you drove off a lot and someone's cardboard box is worth more.
Down to is, well, Bungie's assessed value is obviously not as much as Sony originally thought. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, we could have all kind of assumed that. Let's just say this, though. Because Pete Parsons, by the way, he's on some tropical island somewhere.
Yes, he
sitting
is.
in one of his 35 exotic cars.
Yes.
And can we just say, I don't like what he did to Destiny or Bungie, but, man, my man straight up a villain. He came in there. He talked the talk, said Bungie had all.
Pete has always been, like, if you watch people talk about Pete, especially old Bungie developers that no longer work, like back in the Halo days, even Marty. I know a lot of people don't like Marty because it's political, but the man is still a musical fucking genius. Like, fuck his political, whatever. I don't give a shit about what your take is on his political. I don't care. The man has talent. Maybe he should have stayed in that. I don't know. But the point is, man worked with Bungie, and I believe everything he says about Pete Gross, or Pete, did I say Pete Grosson? Oh my God, Pete Parsons. Pete Crosson's my fictional character that's a parody of Pete Parsons, right? Anything you hear about Pete Parsons from any developer, I'm going to believe, right? Straight up, no matter how much you hate or dislike them, I'm going to believe them because this man is a master manipulator. Like he finessed Microsoft, he finessed, probably Activision, and he finessed Sony. Like the man is like a master non-scammer, but he would probably be a really good scammer too.
All these incubation projects. Again, we're cranking on Destiny, we're cranking on Marathon. We got Gummy Bears, we got Destiny Payback. Oh yeah, we are live service gods. Everything we touch.
There was another one. Wasn't it Matter? Yeah, Matter was another one too, right? Gummies, and then there was Matter.
To gold, and we've got 4 or 5 more live service games. And Sony was like, all right, how much? And Pete was like, I don't know, man. Billions, probably. And unfortunately, that's what Sony paid. Now, yes, there's some accounting benefits right now to the impairment, but regardless, whether you were Microsoft back in the day with Mojang, whether you're Tencent with Riot, when you buy any asset, you want it to have a good return. And I can promise you, that's the alternative that Sony would rather have right now. They would rather have Bungie be exactly what they said they were going to be.
Jim Ryan said specifically, and I'm going to keep posting this to make fun of PlayStation. They're not worried about the Activision buyout, the $69 billion, because they think that Bungie was worth more. And that's Sony's greed, by the way. They were so greedy, so desperate for live service money that, again, Concord is a perfect example of greed, that even Sony was like, this is the next big IP. And they were just so desperate to throw anything at the wall to make it stick because they just wanted money. They didn't care how, they just wanted money. So much so that their greed almost killed Helldivers by forcing people to link their PlayStation account. Like, bro, you're force feeding PlayStation and all this shit. Just let the game cook. But they were so desperate for it. They were so desperate. Man, Sony, and I'm going to say this right now. They shut down, was it Blue Point and another studio that Sony had? I guarantee they shut those down because of the impairment losses caused by Bungie. Like we're losing, money. We got to make up something. So they shut down some studios to make up for it. That's headcanon, but I mean, it's very feasible.
What I mean? I've yapped long enough. Sony backs Marathon.
Okay, so I'm gonna hear him yap.
Marathon community. Not many of them. You know what I'm
Wait,
Marathon.
there was a joke here.
So this was from Paul Tassi. This was published just the other day. Paul's been catching a lot of heat online.
I have seen this. This is the clip I saw.
A lot of people in the Marathon community. Not many of them. You know what I'm saying? But they're pretty vocal. While most of Sony's...
This was the clip that pissed so many people off, was that statement. Again, I love that he plays sides because he was doing the same thing to people posting charts. By the way, this is the man who said that people were wrong about Marathon, that Marathon was going to pop off and have, at launch, was going to be 100K, 100K or more. Like, it's not going to be below that. This man flip-flops more than a fucking fish out of water.
Recent earnings news this week was positive. There was one very glaring red mark in the books. That would be Bungie, which Sony revealed another $565 million in impairment losses, joining the $200 million. It is probably worth less than Sony is saying, especially given recent events. I mean, look, we talk a lot of shit about Pete, but if there's one thing that Pete seemed to have done his job well on, it was, getting the biggest price possible for Bungie. I also think this was
$3.6 billion. And again, where did the money go? Was it split off into all these failed incubation projects? Was it to pay off all the lawsuits they had, including the one that's currently going on in the background right now because a woman who was fired for reporting, racial discrimination, and she's suing for stuff like that. I wonder how many lawsuits have they gotten into recently? Like 3 or 4? Damn, they're going.
Knee-jerk reaction at the time because Sony was getting a little scared with what was happening on the Xbox side. Lots of acquisitions. Of course, the thing that was leading up to the big acquisition of Activision, right? It almost reminded me, although this...
Remember, they weren't worried about that.
It was a much bigger scale, but it reminded me years ago whenever every platform was buying content creators, if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to lock in content creators in exclusive deals, and it really just...
I'm so mad that this man, this blue-haired bastard, made a bunch of Fortnite videos for kids and whatnot, got signed up for enough money to like serve multiple families for years to come, and then that mixer shut down. I was like, dude, that feels like a Bitcoin situation where there's opportunity out there, and I wish I was among the people who are capable to benefit from that. But damn, it's just one of those. I'm jealous. What can I say?
It took Mixer going out for them to finally be like, whoa, this is not sustainable. It's a situation like this, but on a much bigger scale. And obviously, you know, you have tangible products that go alongside it outside of, I guess, influencer. Despite this, Sony has at least publicly backed Bungie's continued work on Marathon.
Okay, let's fast forward a little bit.
Engage core users through the introduction of additional content, further improvements in the gameplay experience, and
we'll see about
expansion of the user base. Yeah. I mean, look, I think the main thing is like the people that are still playing Marathon, they're playing a lot of it, you know. Personally, I think Destiny is the better investment. And I know Marathon people, you're going to come from my neck right now, but I just think it is. I think it has a more interesting universe. I think.
Listen, he's saying the truth. Destiny is a first-person looter shooter, where you could loot and not lose your shit. It has PvP and it has PvE, and it unfortunately it caters to everyone now. It used to be very specifically, you know, designed. Now it's like they want to catch. They threw their net so wide that they killed off a lot of the population. Though the dedicated people playing is more so than Marathon, in my opinion. Like, let's be honest. I make fun of the Bungie fanboys, but there is nothing more diehard than a Destiny fanboy. The unhinged shit, like, there's some unhinged people in the Destiny community, but at least you gotta say that they're dedicated, right? Their retention is high. And honestly, I know I'm gonna say something I have grown, even though I do think that Marathon and Destiny shares a microcosm of some of the same players. There are some people that only play Destiny. I think I would rather deal with the unhinged Destiny players than Marathon players, because at least Destiny players have something to lean on, like years of like potential, versus Marathon, which is already dying after being, 2 months out, being released. And it has zero, background except for a game that came out like 20 years ago. Like, okay.
That the foundation there is way more solid. I think right now they're seeing some like high retention numbers, but that tends to happen. For instance, this is a very small piece of what I can offer here from personal experience, but like if I drop a video on my channel, what you normally find is the videos with the least amount of views have the highest retention. If it just seems to work that way, man. It's like people that are.
I think that's true, because I'll release a video that isn't about, Bungie or anything within like hot topic at the moment. Like I'll talk about something way off, and people will watch that more thoroughly than they do at the moment, because people want to kind of catch they'll do what I'm doing right now to Aztecross. They'll kind of siphon through, they'll watch it fast, or they'll watch, the intro and see if it's something that they want, they want to see if it's worth it. Whereas people who are watching very specific things that are out of the umbrella that I do, they know what they're getting into, and they're like, I'm going to watch it all the way through. Or if it's like a playthrough, they'll watch it all the way through because they want to watch that game.
Actually interesting in that particular topic. In this case, the community is actually engaged with Marathon and its IP. Tend to play the fuck out of this. Or in my case, they'll watch 3-4 times the amount of some of our other pieces. And of course, there's a lot of variables that's involved in that. It's interesting how that goes. It's like the further something keeps refining down, yes, those players will be the ones that play the shit out of your game. That optimism seems unwarranted if you've been tracking the performance of the game, which has continually lost players since launch.
And I think that's true for a lot of games. Like I think a perfect example is like Baldur's Gate has still massive amounts of players all these years later. Even Elden Ring has a shit ton of people still playing it, and that's because they've never stopped, or they they come back to play it a month later.
And that isn't going well either. I think Paul's referring to his insider stating that there's now officially more developers on Marathon.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Simply wasn't mentioned at all, which is disconcerting for what was Bungie's flag soon be announced, but there are no indications that is going to be the case, and that would likely have to come with a near total shutdown on work on Destiny 2 for years to come. I tell you this, guys, from what I looked at in the earnings call, I'm not hopeful of a sequel for Destiny. Everything that was mentioned in the earnings call.
How can you make a sequel for something that, one, the current game has less, developers working on, 2, Sony hasn't even mentioned itself, and 3, they doubled down on Marathon, whether that's just for saving face because they don't want their shareholders mad that, you know, the thing that they've been baking on and saying, hey, Marathon's going to be this big thing. They're going to, you know, remember the first impairment loss that they did? Yeah, they mentioned Marathon would change things in March. Well, it didn't change anything. It went farther down. And so this is them trying to save face. Remember, people are like, well, they wouldn't lie to shareholders. Yes, they fucking would. The legally, there's a difference from legally lying and then, you know, manipulating the lie, right? Making it to where it's still true, but in a very deceitful manner that essentially gaslights people. And that's what they did. Retention itself isn't the issue with this game. The people that are playing it a shit ton. The problem is no one's fucking playing Marathon.
That whether the lack of Destiny being mentioned.
Player-wise.
Makes me feel like there's just Destiny 3 is probably not getting made. But there's no internet plug pulling a Marathon, which I've always predicted will get at least a year content to see if it could find an audience. When there's really no other way to see it. I guess retention is good for the people that are playing Marathon. That's cool, but no one's fucking playing.
No fucking way. I love that I made that statement and fast forward and there he says the same damn I can see why he's getting shit because people like it's not surprising that I say shit like that. It really kind of a lot of people were supporting Aztecross because he was supporting Marathon and now he's done this 360 and some of these people that are like making Marathon bot accounts are losing their shit over there like what the fuck is Aztecross doing?
If I pull it, look, I hate to be this guy, but I'm about to be this fucking guy. Let me pull this shit up. Here we go.
No.
Marathon. It's done.
He's pulling up charts. By the way, even though you don't show like the population charts, you're still showing SteamDB charts. You're still showing data, which he made fun of people for doing. I'm telling you, call him SpongeBob.
Day, it's Mother's Day.
He lives under
Marathon
the
players,
sea.
Maybe they just really love their moms. Completely fine. I understand. 9,974 players. Destiny 2 is currently beating that. And we don't have shit in Destiny right now. You know that? Not shit. Nothing has happened.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think, see, there is a microcosm of shared players between Marathon and Destiny. But then there are some brand new Marabots, right? They are Marathon only. They never played Destiny. You can tell they're the ones fighting and going at war with Destiny players, right? There's the Civil War. They do not have the same. See, they have a different kind of mental illness than the Destiny players. Destiny players have Stockholm syndrome. Like they're masochist, right? They were born in the pain. They live in the suffering. That is the world they live in. And so they are more dedicated than a lot of people in Marathon are, to be honest. Like, you don't know pain and suffering until you play Destiny 2 for years.
In Destiny, like nothing. Now, you could say, well, maybe Destiny 2 players just don't like their mothers. There. Knock it off with the Marathon hate. Believe me, brother, I'm not hating.
And there it is. Stop with the Marathon hate. Guys, you're talking it so negative. I love that people keep saying, why are you stop talking so negative about Marathon? Well, when there's something positive, we can talk about it. Go figure. There's nothing positive.
Marathon. The fault really lies with Bungie on this. Okay. However, imagine this. Imagine.
Oh, we're imagining. Big brain.
Destiny and Marathon. And I had to choose which one to let go. You know what I mean? Imagine the Titanic going down and there's only one life raft available. And only Destiny 2 could get on or Marathon could get on. Even in its shittiest state, its lowest low, I would get Destiny 2 off that ship well before Marathon. Matter of fact,
someone in the comment section, I don't want to spend three like 40 minutes on this video and I'm letting it cook a little bit. Someone correct me. Didn't this man make a statement like at the beginning of Marathon, something about that people should just need to let Destiny die and just focus on Marathon or something like that? Like, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it's just like this alarm bell dinging in my ear where I felt like I have a sense of memory. Maybe it's lost at this point. I don't know. But that he was like, you need to let Marathon die or Destiny die. Again, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I feel like we already know he made the contradiction of like, oh, the 100K and how he was glazing the shit out of this game when it first came out or even before it came out. And, you know, he's already contradicting, being hypocritical about the Steam charts and data because he's doing it himself.
I would strap Marathon down with cinder blocks, put him all the way in the
Damn.
bottom of the ship, and make eye contact with him all the way down. Look, we're gonna have this dance. We're gonna do it. We're gonna watch and see how it goes. I already told you guys that I had a feeling Bungie was about to ice, or Sony was about to ice Destiny's IP. That doesn't mean they're killing it. That just means for the foreseeable future, it's gonna have minimum investment. And Marathon,
I think so too. The fact that Sony has said nothing about Destiny tells me that's probably the case. They want to put all their even Sony wants to put the eggs in the basket of Marathon. I don't know why. I don't know what they're thinking, because if you think that a Marathon Season 2 is going to change things, boy, do I have a coffin to sell you.
they are going to try to pull the Forsaken. They are going to try to pull a Taken King. And you know what? I'll be around. I will be around, and we'll see. We'll see. But
Here's the problem. That will never happen. You see, they will never, one, they don't have the time. They don't have the resources. They don't have the people. They just don't. There's no way. The reason why a Taken King worked is because they spent over the year that Destiny 1 was floundering. By the way, it was also a new IP, and people were more forgiving and more patient. Like, people forget how absolutely patient, even though people were angry, a lot of people stuck around with Destiny. And when Taken King came out, everyone was just, oh my God, this is amazing. And they loved it. And it's still held as one of the best expansions in Destiny 1 history. And the only reason, like, Rise of Iron, in my opinion, gets overglazed is because Siva is fucking badass, the environment was badass, and the raid, fucking badass. Also, the strikes that came up were also really badass. Like, the whole theme was just magical. I wish Rise of Iron got the Taken King treatment, because Rise of Iron really wasn't that big compared to, like, the Taken King. Now, Forsaken, people want to glaze the out Forsaken. Remember, Forsaken was badass because it had Activision using 2 other studios with Bungie to save their ass. So we will never have a Forsaken, and Marathon will never be in the league of Taken King or, Forsaken. Mostly because this is a extraction shooter. I expect them to send out, like, what, 1 fucking map, a couple new guns, and maybe a couple of modes. And if they do more than 1 map, they're probably going to take what maps exist and do, like, what, a night mode version of it? Like, guys, we've got a night mode. We're going to do night vision like Tarkov has had for years, but we're going to do it nighttime. Whoa. Isn't that big? Come back, season 2. And then they're going to make you swipe your card, buy a new character, $30 for brand new character. I guarantee that there's no way that something's going to change in this game. They're going to have to get aggressive, just like they did with Destiny 2, where you saw an increase as Destiny got worse and worse because they were focusing on Marathon. You saw the increase. I mean, we went from having, like, skips to now you have to pay $20 for 1 character to skip the campaign. And then you paid almost the same price. In fact, now it's the same price as the expansion itself to skip the other 2 characters, which is greedy as fuck. Even so, that even Digital Extremes has made fun of Bungie for that. Thank God for that. But, like, they're going to have to get greedy. If Sony demands and expects Marathon to succeed financially, you will see a very greedy and predatory microtransaction system eventually hitting this game. They probably did not want to launch that way because it would immediately feed into the negativity that the game has. But I guarantee you're going to see them ramp up to the next point.
I truly believe. I don't believe Marathon will be able to turn things back around. That's not to take away from the guys at Bungie working on Marathon who are probably putting their heart and souls into it. I just personally don't think Marathon is going to be able to turn it around. Not to the degree that Sony wants or that Bungie needs. I'll put it to you like this. Do you think Marathon right now has an all-time peak of 88,337 players? My ass, man. I mean, I was in Copium land leading up to the launch of Marathon, and I was like, it won't break below 100,000 players.
You know what? I respect him for calling it out. You know what? I called him out. He actually acknowledged it. I have respect for him.
Brother, it didn't even go over that. It didn't even touch it. But no. For real. Do you think that it's going to go over 88,337 players in season 2?
Absolutely.
Or season 3?
Not.
Or if they did like a big 1-year launch, do you think it will go over that number? Only going free to play? I have said it for a while.
There's no fucking way. Free to play won't change shit. And here's why. High Guard was free to play. Didn't change shit. High Guard went free to play. They started launching multiple modes. They desperately released a bunch of free shit, and it didn't do anything. Here's the thing about the gaming community. Once people have had their mind, set on what they view things, it's incredibly hard to change things. A perfect example is Fallout 76. I've heard that they've transformed that game, and it's got a very dedicated community, and it's actually apparently really good. But its reputation was so ruined that you hear hardly nothing about it or anyone playing it. Like, it was just so buried because of how bad it was. And I think that kind of negativity, especially the reputation that precedes Bungie into Marathon, I think that also is going to hold it down indefinitely. I think at this point, Marathon is where it's at, and it will remain that way. Of course, you'll see some people who have played it previously come back. I mean, your content creators and whatnot, but I do not see it ever going above and beyond, even with free to play. It's not going to happen.
Wow, now that Bungie should really consider not going completely free to play, is adding one map and making it a free to play map. It can literally be sponsor kits. People can jump in there, mess around, and you might get some conversions. Will there be cheaters? Of course. But you might get some conversions. And if anything, you pad the stats a little bit. But even then, guys, I don't know, boys. I would be very, very surprised. I'd be very surprised if he gets over that number. I just feel like so many people have already made up their mind about Marathon. You know what I'm saying? And sure, the people that are playing Marathon, they're enjoying it. Glad they are, It's tough, man. It's tough. Marathon community, I give you guys.
I'm going to fast forward even more because I joked about it, but we're actually going to hit the 40-minute mark. God damn it.
Shit. But I definitely enjoyed my time playing Marathon. To me, it's a seasonal game. And so I'll jump back in, probably when a new season launches. If there's something.
But that's the thing. Marathon isn't a seasonal game. Like, people like that. I don't like this mentality of you spend $40, you just play it for a couple of weeks and then you're done. And I've actually seen that. Oh, people only play for first couple weeks and then they'll be back next season. Like, what the fuck? Who spends $40 and plays a couple of weeks and says I'll be back next season? What the fuck? No, people are still playing Baldur's fucking Gate all these years later, or Elden Ring, like all these games that were game of the fucking year. Yeah, they're not live service, but nothing's changing about them either. So it's like when you have a game that changes wipe after wipe, or it's supposed to, you would think people would continue to play.
Big coming each launch. If it's just like, hey, get ready to do all your faction quests all over again, and we learn all the same shit again, you know what I'm coming from, which very likely that is the case, then my time playing each season is going to be probably much less. With that being said, though, I think Destiny is the better game. I think it's the stronger IP. I think it's the sexier game. I think that it's just better on every level. I think it looks better, it feels better, it shoots better, it plays.
He's saying everything it's all true. Like, even, I'm going to tell you, I would rather play Star Wars Destiny than play Roblox Marathon.
Better. It's just better. It's fucking so much better. I can't express just how much better Destiny is. And Destiny 1 is better, okay? Destiny 1 fucking kills Marathon. Look,
that's based. Fucking based. Taken King shits down the throat of Marathon. Like, people want to glaze the story. Oh, you got the little baby compiler. Let me introduce you to my man, Oryx, the fucking Taken King. We'll bitch slap your little compiler, make him a little, R2-D2 little bitch.
Marathon is a fun time. I have a good time playing Marathon, but there's no world in which I would choose Marathon over Destiny, okay? If I could do it, I would execute Marathon for all right? If this is a tough decision for them, dude, not even 2 minutes in a pillow. I fucking got this shit. And then we can get back to making more Destiny. I'm gonna be honest, if they brought the Destiny Classic right now, he would beat the shit out of Destiny 2 and Marathon combined. Look, you don't want this fight, Marathon community. Destiny 2 community, y'all don't want this fight out.
Holy shit. Now I get it. My man is literally planting the seeds of violence.
If a Destiny Classic dropped on PC right now, he would beat the piss out of both these games. No, I don't think Marathon is the worst game at all. There's so many things that went wrong, man.
I just want to say, I have said the same damn thing, but the only difference between me and Aztecross is I'm also attaching it to making fun of specific people. You know what? It's crazy. People get mad at me, but they probably won't get mad at him at the same rate as they do me, mostly because I will point out specifically the accounts instead of just making general comments. Maybe I should take a backseat to pointing out directly these accounts and just make a generalization of the accounts themselves, like the marathon bot accounts. You guys can fill in X and Y, and maybe we'll take the Aztecross approach of just making fun of people.
So many things. I'm gonna be telling my grandkids about this if they're even gonna care. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, Grandpa, tell us a story. And I'm gonna be like, the story can go many ways. It could be like, I'm gonna tell you a story about a studio that made
There's
an epic
no
comeback
way.
by becoming completely community driven. And I'm gonna show you where and I got a lot of shit. Turns out he didn't have nothing except cars. And that's how the story goes. It's unfortunate, man. Marathon was supposed to come out at least a year ago. It's just bad, dude. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. All right, can you imagine working on Marathon? Can you imagine just being like a developer for just Marathon? You don't work on Destiny. You never worked at Bungie. You finally get hired on.
Well, we know that a lot of the developers didn't want to work on Marathon, and the situation was that the environment was very toxic, especially the C-suite was very toxic. Like, we had a lot of insight to what was going on, and the situation was toxic. And guess what? You can't let... The problem with Marathon is that it probably could have been something cool and interesting, especially when they first showed it off. People were like interested in it, but it probably devolved and fell apart when Christopher Barrett got fired. And then you had all the in-house, drama and all the lawsuits and all the other shit that was hitting the pan before the alpha came out. And if they just let the developers actually cook without all the toxicity and developers were happy, they probably would have made something that more people would have enjoyed rather than the small minority.
You get hired on a Marathon, you show up and you're like, yeah, leadership seems cool as shit. Then a week goes by. Leadership fucking gone. Christopher Barrett laid off. Why? Truth of there. Too much. Shouldn't do it at all. Shit happen. Leadership changes. All right. Oh, simultaneously, tons of other layoffs happening in the studio. All those people you met to work on Destiny, they're all fucking getting laid off or leaving. And so you're like, damn, dude, this is really scary. I just showed up here. I just started working last week and so many things happening. And then new leadership.
No one should ever try to work in the gaming industry. At this point, you could get fired. There were so many studios that shut down even after having successful game launches. At this point, it's just, unless you're a CEO or a C-suite person, don't bother. Don't bother. It's just, you're wasting your time.
Comes in, that being Ziegler. Ziegler comes in, he's like, listen, I'm from Valorant, and the way Marathon looks like right now looks like shit. We're gonna change everything. And look, nothing against Ziegler. I think Ziegler's got a great mind, but it takes time. Then Ziegler's like, all right, let's begin. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then the time keeps extending. Okay, keeps extending. And then when they feel like they're like, all right, we're almost there. We're almost to the promised land. They launched the alpha. Now, alpha wasn't received that well because the alpha looked like shit. Let's just be clear.
Yeah,
it wasn't received well. But the thing that really hurt them the most is that inside the alpha was a bunch of in-game assets with decals of another artist.
Art theft will make us God. They will never live that down. And they should never live it down. I hate the bullshit. Like, they already paid the artist. Let it go. No, bitch. Do people let go of fucking World War II? No. People continue to educate and teach so that shit doesn't happen again, you dumb fuck. You should continue to hold people accountable. Sure. Current Germany didn't do World War II, but we're watching you, motherfuckers. We're going to make sure you don't repeat that history again.
Independent artists, brother. Thus the art scandal formed. It sucks, man. It sucks. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I've said it still. It's kind of amazing that Marathon even made it. Like, it's really amazing Marathon made it out the door. So if you work that hard to get Marathon out the door, of course Bungie and Sony are going to commit resources to it. And they're going to play this dance for probably a year. The question is that...
I said that. Holy shit. It's funny enough. Aztecross has said the same shit as me, finally. After, we've gone around circles of flip-flopping. We have said almost the exact same thing. Of course, mine is far more aggressive, but we have said the exact same thing. And I said at Marathon was average at best. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't great, which pisses off people like, okay, why are you saying it's average? That's not good either. I'm like, well, it was average. You can see, you like an average game. I played Marathon. It was fine. It's not for me. I played worse games, right? It was an average game. It felt like an early access game. It still looks like an early access game. I'm not into Roblox. I played Roblox, and that's why it feels like I'm playing Roblox when I play Marathon. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
This point, and this is the point that hurts the most, is one, is there going to be layoffs following this impairment news? Two, where are the layoffs
I hit 40.
Are they going to hit more on the Destiny side? Are they going to hit more on the Marathon side? And let me just say, man, I don't think either side can really lose many people at this point. You know what I mean? And those are the people that are... they're the ones that are going to be living through this. I think my biggest issue with everything that has happened over, really since Bungie's been acquired by Sony, there was a large amount of funds set aside to retaining talents. And my question is...
what talent? They all left. Holy shit, they lost Luke Smith. Who else? Christopher Barrett, Mr. Truth or Dare, grabby ass, sexual harasser, but very fucking talented, unfortunately. So that you got them, Luke Smith, Who else? Fuck. There's like two other people in the back of my mind that also left. That are key people that I'm thinking, and I can't remember. Damn it.
Is what the happened to that?
Chris Proctor, one of them. There's another dude I keep forgetting, but Chris Proctor was definitely like a big person to lose. And these are people that define Destiny.
If that was set aside to retain talent, then why didn't we retain talent? Why didn't we find a way to keep Chris Proctor? Why didn't we keep Joe? Why didn't we keep Mark Noseworthy and Luke Smith? Why didn't we keep Michael Salazar?
Joe. The other Joe, not the art theft Joe. The other Joe.
Sure, some of you are going to say, but they left on their own accord. Obviously, people got paid. There are people that definitely got paid. But in terms of retaining your top talent, your narrative team from Final Shape, what happened to retaining those people? I'm just saying, guys, I would not be surprised if Destiny goes into maintenance mode after this next expansion. I wouldn't be surprised if, at best, we get a Renegade-style expansion per year with your normal cadence of other things like Guardian games, holiday events. You see where I'm coming from? Cross is killing Destiny fans right now. Guys, I'm not trying to hurt you.
He's like, I'm gonna kill your dreams. I'm killing the Marathon fans' dreams. You're all getting fucked over.
Feelings. I want us to be prepared for this. Okay, I think it's kind of likely. Okay, just based off of everything we've seen, and I think that unfortunately, I think there's going to be another wave of layoffs. It may not happen until later in the summer, but I do think that there's going to be another wave of layoffs. I hate that, but I do too.
I keep saying it. Now, I said if it was going to happen, it would have happened before the earnings call. But after finding out how much the value of Bungie was like impaired and how fucking bad that was, it's probably going to be in the summer. There's going to be multiple things. We know that there was the rumor that PR jump ship. More leaders are going to jump ship this summer. Rumored, right? They try to get that payout. They're going to jump ship. If that happens, I also see people losing their jobs in June, right? I'm going to spitball it. I think it's going to be in June or somewhere, where people aren't going to be like in the know. Something's going to happen, right? They're going to be sneaky about it. They're not going to put it out in front of their investors. They're not going to put it out there in the shareholders. They're not going to be like, aha, we fucked up. We're going to fire these people. No, they're going to let things cool out and smooth a little bit. There's going to have some distractions. If they're really, really sneaky, they might wait until Grand Theft Auto comes out, and when everyone's just glazing and playing that, they quietly, fire, a bunch of people like, oh, Grand Theft Auto, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of the studio. Oh, what's that, Grand Theft Auto?
I think that's probably going to end up happening, and I'm not hopeful that a Destiny 3 is being made right now, which blows my mind because it seems stupid as to not make a Destiny 3. That would obviously trend.
It's funny. Everyone but Bungie understands that. Hell, outside of the Marathon Bros, because they're like, you're just upset you didn't get Destiny 3. Yeah.
It's not until Marathon is stable. Right. I don't know if Marathon is ever going to reach that point. Based on what their history is, I would say Bungie feels confident since their success with the Taken King, their success with Forsaken. These are the annual expansions that follow the release of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. They feel very confident that their year 2 turnaround can change the course of the game.
They shouldn't feel confident because, they had good graces with leading up to the Taken King, and the only reason Destiny 2 worked out is because they had two other studios saving their ass.
However, that's Destiny. And I say this with love, Marathon community. Marathon ain't Destiny, all right? There are people that like your game. I like it too sometimes, but it's not Destiny.
Sometimes.
In regards to Gummy Bears and Team LFG, nothing was said about them. Probably not going to hear anything about them until whatever it is that they're working on is coming out, probably. And keep in mind, what Team LFG really showcases is that Sony is completely willing to take individual games within Bungie and siphon them off and put them under PlayStation Studios. That's really what that shows. The question is,
I really want them to take Destiny away from Bungie and give it to do a deal with Tencent or something. Just do a deal with some other studio and let them cook. Please. I mean, we already established a lot of the talent that made Destiny's gone. You might as well give someone else a chance. Let other talent from other studios take a crack at it. As long as the basic formula is the same, they'll be fine.
Are they going to do something similar with Marathon? I'd be surprised, but maybe. I don't know. Whatever the case, obviously it showed some levels of promise because then they pulled it out from underneath Bungie and established Team LFG. Yeah, look, there is a way out of this. I want everyone to know there is a way out of this, but it involves heavy investment back into the Destiny side of things. I just don't see that happening.
It won't happen.
Are you sure it's not just a skill issue? Well, it could be a skill issue. It could be the fact that some of your greatest talent that worked at Bungie left, and therefore quality of content has gone down. You know what I'm saying? It's like
what he's saying is, They ain't anyone as good as what there used to be, and the people that are at Bungie can't make Destiny the way it used to be. They ain't good enough. They don't got the skills to pay the bills, literally.
Those two go hand in hand. Look, I don't agree with everything Luke Smith did or said. You know where I'm coming from? But tell me you didn't get a little excited every time you saw Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy on the screen.
Oh,
Tell me,
Mark
what-
Noseworthy, yeah. I mean, even Christopher Barrett, even Joe, like, not Joe Ziegler or Joseph Cross or whatever, right? Joe. The like, even he with talking about Into the Light and the final shit got people hyped the fuck up, right? He buckled up, got the job done, and yeah, I mean, you saw these people, you knew there was potential, even though this asshole right here was the main reason the DCV existed. That's his sin. That's his cross to bear. But outside of that, he did great.
Did they represent? What did those two guys represent? All right, you knew you were going to get fucked. It might be a bad fuck or it might be a good fuck. You don't know, don't really know, but it still brought a level of excitement. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, going into Final Shape, when Luke Smith came on and he was like, "This is definitely not it for Destiny." And after the Final Shape is launched, we'll be back to talk more about that. God, dog it! I was so hopeful, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, they're doing it, boys.
The
They're doing
biggest
it. They're
gaslight.
gonna make a D3. It's all coming together. And somehow those guys essentially got let go. I know they left, but you know where I'm coming from.
The fact that they jumped ship willingly told me they smelled the shit a mile away.
What I do to say Destiny? Can I just say Destiny is so just intertwined with the corporate world that I don't know how to navigate this. You know what I'm coming from? This is just like, hey, here's a single studio who owns an IP, who has creative freedom and direction here to try some things and mix things up. This isn't like we can go in there and make a few sandbox tweaks and changes here or throw in Pantheon 2.0.
No.
There's just so much intertwined in this that, yes, I could sit here and say we can follow the same roadmap that RuneScape followed with essentially old school RuneScape
Jesus
launching.
Christ.
You can do a classic launch. You can roll out that content over a year time frame instead of stretching out, of course, for 3 years. So that just wouldn't make sense. You could start with the OG sandbox. You can create goodwill by allowing Red War campaign.
Him talking about RuneScape is as bad as me always having 40-minute fucking videos.
And Forsaken to be in a
Which
playable
this video
state in
is.
some way. I don't know how you figure out that way, whether that be in a D2 or maybe even a standalone download. But I don't know. But that would establish some level of goodwill. The community would see that and go, all right, well, we don't forgive you, but we appreciate this. You know what I mean? We appreciate you at least trying.
I'm in the video there. I actually almost pushed it to 50 minutes, even at 2 times speed. God damn it. One of these days, I'm going to pre-watch these, write a script, and know when to pause and then say what I need to say. And that I'm going to experiment. God damn it. I was trying to be better. Fuck my opinions. Well, you can never say that I do reaction slop. That is me not actually reacting. I react at least 27 minutes extra content. Original, baby. Fuck. Damn it. How do you still fuck that up? Skipped a bunch of stuff, went times 2, and still fucked up at the end. Man, I feel like I'm Bungie. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know your comments down below. I understand why people are pissed off at Aztecross, and now I'm pissed off at myself. I'll see you later. As always, game out. God damn it.